It's interesting. So when I was in medical school, there was no nutrition. There were no classes on food, weight loss, nutrition, none. Because they didn't believe that it was important, an important part of a physician's education. And I was writing a column for Time Magazine. You ever heard of Time Magazine?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So I'm saying that, I don't mean to be, because you're young. So, it's kind of like,
I know all the magazines. I hope to one day be in them.
Yeah. Well, I was in Time Magazine. I had my own column.
Wow.
And what was happening was I would write a column in what they call the back of the book. So towards the end, me, my picture and everything. And I would write on topics like, let's say there was a Tylenol scare, like at the time, a medication scare. And I would write about it, or I'd write about the flu. But all my questions and emails were about food, nutrition, weight loss, fat burners, metabolic boosters. So no matter what I wrote about, 80% of my email box was full of those questions. So I was like, geez, like I got to figure this thing out for these people, because I always view my role in public from health as being a service to people. Like I try to take complicated things or things that are important to your livelihood, and I try to break it down for you so you can take that nugget of wisdom and apply it to your life right away. Mm-hmm. So here I am reading all these emails asking me about things that I had no training in, zero. And so it was frustrating because I felt like I was misconnecting with these guys. I was writing about this, they wanted this. So I got an email one day from Random House, a big publishing house. And they said, hey, Dr. Ian, would you like to write any books? I was like, geez, yeah, of course I'd love to write books. And so I met with the editor, and Mary said to me, I said, what do you want me to write? Anything you want. We love your column. Give us some ideas. And one of the first books I wanted to write was a book about nutrition, because I felt like I would be able to answer all of the questions and uncertainties that my readers had. And so I, of course, had to teach myself real fast about nutrition. Now, it's not hard. Once you're a physician and you spent all these hours and years in school, science comes pretty easily to you, but it was a different science. I had to learn about what's a calorie and what are phytonutrients and all these different things that are part of nutrition. But anyway, that's what I did. And I wrote it was my second book. My first book was a website book, but the second book I wrote was called The Take Control Diet. And that was my answer to all the emails I was getting consistently at the magazine about how to eat properly and lose weight.
So this idea of diets, and it's such a fascinating topic for a lot of people because there are so many diets out there, the crazy amount. There's no one diet that is the best. And I've always been curious about this aspect. Why is that the case?
Great question. And I have always said to people, listen, I don't know how many diets I've written, honestly. I've written 18 books, but maybe, let's say 13 are diets, right? I got another one coming out in April called Fast Burn, which is going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, literally. But I've always said to people, no one diet, no matter how good it is, fits everybody, because people have different ways they gain weight. People have different tolerances to food. They have different preferences for food. Some people have medical conditions. They can't have too much salt. They can't have too much sodium. There's no one can create a program that works for everyone equally effective, right? So I say hundreds of thousands, actually to millions of people have followed my plans, okay? And despite the fact that I have millions of people on my plan still isn't for everybody. Because you may pick it up and say, you know what? This doesn't work for me. And so people say to me, well, Dr. Ian, why do you write so many different diet books? And the answer is your question, because no one book is going to satisfy the needs of everybody. So I'm constantly researching, listening, learning, trying to figure out what's new out there. Is there a different way? So now intermittent fasting is huge, right?
Yep.
And then clean eating has been big the last couple of years. So I was like, geez, what about combining clean eating, which by itself is very effective, with intermittent fasting, which by itself is very effective? So put the two together. So I wrote my latest book, Clean and Lean, which is the principles of intermittent fasting and clean eating. And the results are amazing, like 10 to 12 pounds in 30 days on average for people, right? But it's not because I'm some genius. It's because different programs affect people in a different way. And I try to figure out different ways to approach the same problem, which is how do you eat better and lose weight?